Hello, and welcome to Career Connection Chats, where you state the career and we make the connection. As always, I'm co-host Jeff Ursillo, Delaware Military Academy, class of 2022. In this episode, we'll be covering the Delaware Army National Guard. The Delaware Army National Guard maintains 15 armories in 12 communities. Delaware Army National Guard units are trained and equipped as part of the United States Army. The same ranks and insignia are used. National Guardsmen are eligible to receive all United States military awards. The Delaware Guard also bestows a number of state awards for local services rendered in or to the state of Delaware. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you our second guest of the show, General Frank Vavala. Major General Frank Vavala assumed duties as the Adjutant General, Delaware, on February 1st, 1999. As Adjutant General, he is responsible for the mission readiness of all Delaware National Guard units for both federal and state missions. General Vavala's military service began in 1967 when he enlisted in the Delaware Army National Guard as a private. He was commissioned a signal officer after completing the Delaware Military Academy Officer Candidate School in 1970. Prior to the assignment, General Vavala served as a commander, 72nd Troop Command, Deputy Commander, State Area Command, and most recently as the Adjutant General Army. Delaware National Guard, where he is responsible for mission readiness of all Delaware Army National Guard units to support federal and state missions. General Vavala's personal awards include Legion of Merit, Meritorious Service Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Army Reserve Components Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Armed Forces Reserve Medal, Army Service Ribbon, Delaware Conspicuous Service Cross, Delaware Medal of Military Merit, Delaware Military Defense Service Ribbon, Delaware Medal for Service in Aid to Civil Authority, Delaware Recruiting Ribbon, Delaware Physical Fitness Ribbon, and Delaware Unit Strength Award.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is season 1, episode 2 of Career Connection Chat. With me right now is Major General Frank Vavala, former Adjutant General of the Delaware National Guard. How are you, sir?
Very good. Good afternoon to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you. Could you explain who you are and how you got to where you are now?
Interesting journey. I enlisted in the Army in 1967, and I was enlisted for 3 years and decided that I wanted to do something more. So I went to Officer Candidate School and was commissioned. And that began my journey as a commissioned officer. One of the things that I always strived to do was better myself. And what I did was made sure that I completed my military education, my civilian education, and also that I strived for what I'd like to call the fast track. And that's to always look for opportunities to command, because I think that's the true benefit of the military professionalism, is leadership and being able to lead others. So company platoon leader, company commander, battalion commander, brigade commander, assistant adjutant general of the Delaware National Guard, and then ultimately adjutant general. I was truly blessed to be able to serve for 50 years, and 22 of those years were as a general officer, and that is quite unusual. So I was very blessed. So that's really how I became adjutant general. But the adjutant general's position is a competitive position. It's appointed by the governor to the state of Delaware. So I competed with other officers. So obviously, I had the credentials, the schooling, the experience, and certainly the dedication necessary. And I was selected back in 1999 by then Governor Tom Carper, who's now our senior United States Senator. And I was blessed to be able to serve for him, for Governor Ruth Ann Minner, for Governor Jack Markell and Governor John Cornyn. So truly blessed to be in that position for 18 years and be able to hopefully impact positively our Delaware National Guard and where we are today.
That's good stuff. I mean, I've been reading up on you. I mean, Wikipedia page, and I've seen all your accolades. I mean, it's truly just amazing to see all the things you've done, and I thank you for your service. And I know 50 years, that's a rare thing in the military. I believe anyone in the military can tell you that, especially one of your accolades I see is that you're one of the rare service members who went from a private to a 4-star general. And I don't know anyone that's actually accomplished that, and that's just an amazing feat in and of itself. And you're also the first Delaware National Guardsman to reach a 4-star general rank, and you're basically hitting record after record, and that's pretty amazing stuff. But I wanted to talk to you about like you being an adjutant general, and what characteristics would make a good person in the career field.
Well, I go back to basically the Army values, which are truly reflective of our military in general, and that's loyalty, that's duty, that's respect, that's selfless service, that's honor, integrity, and personal courage. All those things go in to creating the United States service member, the member of our military. And that's why we're truly set apart from other militaries throughout the world. I think what you're seeing now, and particularly with the Russian army, as they assault the Ukraine, is their morale's falling apart. Their leadership is not what it needs to be. And I think we pride ourselves in training our personnel well. In fact, we're probably the United States as a military probably give more responsibility and authority to our mid-level senior non-commissioned officers than any other military in the world. And that's why I believe we're so good. It's those individuals where the rubber meets the road. They're the ones that can make and break a decision. They're the ones that are calling the shots because, again, they've got the experience, the know-how, and the wherewithal to get the job done.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. I agree with everything you said. What are the favorite things that you've done in your career as adjutant general?
In my particular case, I would have to say it's the unification of our Army and Air National Guard. That was one of my objectives when I came in. For such a long time, we operated independently, and the Army and the Air Guard didn't cooperate or communicate that well together. But truly, in order to achieve the objectives that I had and the objectives of the organization, we needed to be joined. We needed to be able to operate together. So what I've always said is you take the best of both worlds. You take the best from the Delaware Army National Guard, you take the best from the Delaware Air National Guard, and you mesh them together to create this Delaware National Guard. You use the resources you have available. There are resources on the Army side that the Air doesn't have, and conversely, there are resources on the Air side that the Army doesn't have. So putting that together, I believe, is the right thing to do. Another thing that I wanted to do is to communicate, make sure that I was able to, again, project my vision to the organization. So we put together a monthly video for me to be able to communicate to them. We also established a real aggressive community outreach program so that individuals knew we were there. For so long, we kind of hunkered down and said, okay, we'll do our job, but don't bother us. No. We are responsible to the citizens of the state of Delaware. We answer to them. And as such, we need to be part of our state and we need to be part of our nation. We need to be an integral part, a part that's indispensable. and I think we've arrived there.
Oh, I absolutely think you have too. I mean, I've seen the Delaware Army Air National Guard at a lot of community service events, and like, I don't think I've ever been in an event where I didn't see both organizations represented there together, either unified or even right next to each other, and working out together. And it's funny because every time I think of Delaware National Guard, I think of not just the Army, but I think of the Air Force and the Army as well. And I think you did a fantastic job unifying them and completing the mission of serving the Delaware community and the nation. And I think I have to ask, what are your least favorite things to do that you did in your career?
The least favorite thing is when you had to initiate discipline. I think, I always said that the personnel aspect of the job is what really eats your lunch, because there's a lot of emotion associated with that. And the last thing you really want to do is have to administer the discipline. Oftentimes it's required, but it's hurtful, because again, you look at each and every member of your organization as a member of your own family. And when they go astray, it's extremely difficult. Yeah, you have to try to bring them back in line again, but I think that's the most difficult aspect of being a leader. I mean, you're really, again, you take the good with the bad, Seth. It's something it's a necessary evil. It's something that you do to make the whole organization better. But it's I believe, the most distasteful part of what I had to do.
Absolutely. I mean, no one likes to be the disciplinarian, but it's part of leadership. Now,
The other thing I'll say is, don't get me wrong. It's not that you need to be loved as a leader. You need to be respected as a leader. And you have to earn that respect from your subordinates. You have to model what you want them to do. That's the biggest aspect of leadership.
it seems like you and many of your colleagues have all been trailblazers, like late and great Major General Carol Timmons, who passed away recently, who was the first female adjutant general in the Delaware National Guard, and retired Brigadier General Dave Fleming, who was the first African American general of the Delaware National Guard. What qualities?
Delaware Army National Guard.
Delaware Army National Guard.
Forget General Talbot was the first African American in the Air Guard.
Absolutely, General Talbot. I know General Talbot very well as well. You actually brought me in contact with him. A very great leader. I think I'm going to get him on the show too in the future. But what qualities do you believe attributed you to becoming you guys to becoming trailblazers in the military?
I think you need to be a visionary. You have to have a vision for the organization. So you have to be able to promote that vision to your organization. You have to treat others the way you want to be treated yourself. You have to also admit your mistakes. Don't think you're infallible. If you make a mistake, you admit it, but you overcome and you correct it. That's what we do. We adapt and we overcome in the military. You got to make yourself part of the action. You don't sit back and tell somebody to do something without being part of it. Make yourself part of the action. You lead from the front. That's extremely important. You have to be a communicator. People need to understand why you're doing what you're doing. It makes it much more palatable for them to accept. They may not agree with you, but if they understand your reasoning behind it, that's a plus. You have to know how to delegate too. As a leader, you can't do it all. So you have to be able to delegate, and to have a very efficient team, an organization, a unit. You need to be able to delegate, and individuals need to know what they need to do to contribute to the whole. And I think you also have to make people feel important. That's extremely necessary. I mean, you need to reward people for the good that they do. You make them feel part of the team. You make them feel important in what you're doing.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, the funny thing is, a lot of people that we've had on the show so far have said almost the exact same thing about communication and treating others the way we're treated. And on the past episodes, we had Major Kyle Rogers on, who was talking about the golden rule, which, and so you have as well, and the importance of communication, and that followers need to know why they're doing this, because humans are, at least I believe, humans are naturally inclined to want to know why. That's how the greatest things have happened in our world. It just started with someone asking why. And that, I think everyone has that natural proclivity to wonder, why am I really doing this? Why is someone telling me to do this or all that? And then that provides them the motivation and the reasoning behind their actions. Because no one wants to follow someone into battle without knowing why they're going left instead of right. Why are they going into this building instead of that building? And I think it's very important that leaders do that. Now,
that buy-in is extremely necessary.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. Now, what advice would you give to someone who is just joining the Delaware National Guard, just joining the military in general, and has aspirations to become a general? What advice would you give to them?
My advice is using the old Army vernacular: be all that you be. You need to be prepared. So you're committed. If you want to aspire to a leadership position, you have to have all the boxes checked. You have to be academically qualified. You have to be professionally qualified. You have to have the experience necessary. So it's looking at all those things as a package there. Be ready. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to aspire to the position that if I wasn't ready, if I didn't have the credentials, if I didn't have the experience, and people didn't recognize that and see what I did. So my advice is get in there and be all that you can do. Aspire for the best. Take the toughest jobs, do them to the best of your ability, and you will be recognized by your superiors and advanced appropriately.
I couldn't have said it myself, sir. And in leaving question, so is there anything you would like to say to our viewers, those looking who are my age or younger, or in the military right now, who just want leadership advice in general?
Well, again, I don't think there's any better vocation in our country than being part of our great United States military, regardless of what rank. We're all a team. When you put us all together, we become the most formidable force on planet Earth. So I think to take advantage of being part of this, and then to develop yourself so that you can aspire to be the best that you can be in whatever you decide. Nowhere in our society can you be given the unbridled opportunities that you have in the military. You can do whatever you want to do and be whatever you want to be. You have to work at it. So the important thing is to be part of it, join that organization, do the best possible job you can. And you talked about the golden rule. All right. I've always said, and this really is simplistic, and it kind of reflects my life. It's a simplistic thing: is do your best, do what's right, treat other people the way you want to be treated yourself, and don't give up. All those things are important, and that would be a measure of success.
Absolutely. And I have so we never touched the subject, but quite recently you were appointed by the president to be a part of the board of directors for the United Services Organization. And congratulations on that. That was a well-deserved. You were the obvious choice for that. Could you describe what you do in that position?
Well, again, I was very honored that the president selected me to be part of that. And I think all members of the military understand the importance of USO and what they do for our service members and their families. And to be part of that, and what my job really is to be a conscience to as a member of the military, as a former member of the military, to be able to comment around what our objectives need to be, where we should be going in that organization, how we can best develop ourselves to give even greater support to members of the military and their families. So from that perspective, I'm real excited about being part of that fantastic organization. I've met so many wonderful people from all facets of and all walks of life who are part of the board, and I only look for greater opportunities to be able to serve, and that's real important to us who have taken the uniform off, who have had to retire. I mean, hey, if I wasn't forced to, I would have never retired because it's the greatest job in the world. But the important thing that we can do as retirees is keep giving back. Payback, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's kind of it, I think.
Absolutely, sir. That was great information. You are a true inspiration to all. I mean, I talk about you all the time, and it seems like you're very well known, and you're really well known in Delaware. I was just speaking to in a previous episode, I was speaking to executive director of also of Veteran Services, Joshua Maddox, and he was speaking very highly of you. It seems like everyone that you meet, you touch in a different way, and you motivate them and you help them, and you're just a great Delawarean, a great serviceman, and you truly give back to your country and your community, and we all appreciate everything you do, sir. It's truly an honor just to say that I can say that I know you, and it's truly an honor to have you on the show.
That's very kind of you, and I look for great things from you. You're going to follow in the path, the footprints of those who have gone before, and you're going to do even greater things that any of us have ever imagined. I look for some wonderful things coming from you, young man, and I wish you only the best. And I'm always happy to support you and be part of whatever your initiatives are. So we'll continue to interact as we move forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Major General Frank Vavala. Next up, the 8th Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, Vince Patton, also the first African-American Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, coming in to speak to you guys. I'm very excited. Great speaker, great man. Again, thanks for watching Career Connection Chats. I hope you learned something great. I hope you learned something you want to teach other people. And if you want to be on our show, please email us at careerconnectionchats@gmail.com. And if you want to ask our guest speaker your own questions, please email at the email posted below. To see more, please visit our YouTube channel and share what you've learned.